Hey guys, and welcome back. We just want to come to you with a podcast style video. Really, we have like a lot of conversations and stuff that we would be like, after we have them, we're like, this would make a great video or great podcast, but then we unfortunately didn't record it. So we wanted to do that for you guys really quick. So let's get into it.
Yeah, before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed or you're following us wherever you hear this. And yeah, basically, we want to say there are so many triggering events that have occurred over the past few weeks. If you have been hearing about like any sort of news, you know that there's been, the war in Europe, the infamous abortion case, and now the tragedy in Buffalo and the new pox virus. And like with all these crazy things going on, it's so easy to get angry, depressed, become anxious, or even scared. And that's why we decided to come on today and remind you that there are only two emotions: love and fear, and that fear is just false evidence appearing real. Guys, it's so important during this time more than ever to remain in the love vibration and to come together with others, no matter what their personal little differences or opinions might be from yours. And I, of course, don't mean something that is radical and dangerous. I just mean if they have a religion that you don't necessarily practice, it's okay. We can still come together, because in the end, we all want to live in a better world. And if we collectively focus, we can manifest a world that we desire with abundance, peace, and freedom for everyone, for all humans. Because that stuff already exists. Most of our problems are actually man made. There's enough money, food, water, energy, and shelter for everyone on the planet, despite what the news is telling you and trying to program us to believe. Did you know that we already have the technology to be living in a utopia right now? But it's all being hoarded by bad actors. Like there's even a guy who made like a water car several years ago. Like look at Tesla's inventions, like free energy device designs and everything. After his death, they actually took boxes of his invention notes. And government confiscated it. And that stuff could literally change the world overnight. But here's the good news. Their time has come to an end. That's why they're so desperate and they're throwing everything at the wall. That's why you're seeing all these shortages and inflation and right wing versus left wing and gender wars. Guys, let's make it a point not to fall for their separation tactics.
Know that a lot of this is instigated to trigger us into fearfully running from one party to the other. This is part of why we personally don't claim political affiliation. Both sides taken to the extreme can veer into some really radical and insane viewpoints. The point is to lure us into a perpetual state of binary thinking and ambivalence, where we're continually running from and then to each respective side, which, when you think about it, is crazy. They teach us to be dual minded instead of whole brained and practice holistic thinking. If you've ever read the book The Gods of Eden, which we highly recommend, you'll learn that along with our monetary system, inflation, the binary political system as well was supplanted here, not made by us, but placed upon us to keep the masses under control as government, that is to govern our minds. Systems like these is why those in power were able to stay in power and are able to stay in power for thousands of years. Even the concept of shortages is man-made. Certain political figures once mentioned how the next wars would be fought over water. Again, that would be designed because the earth has enough water for everything that inhabits it. They even recently discovered a sea of fresh water under the ocean off the coast of the United States. How are we running out of fresh water when we haven't even accounted for all of the Earth's fresh water sources? Our mother is Jamaican, and she had mentioned how in Jamaica you could literally just eat a mango, throw the seed somewhere on the ground, and when you come back weeks later, you'll see that that tree is already growing, preparing to, grow into a tree that will bear more mangoes for free, So when you think about it, there really is no lack. We just wanted to put this out here as a reminder that there's always a middle ground in terms of viewpoints and, political affiliations, that your fellow human being is not your enemy, and our focus should remain being vibrating higher and not lower.
If you guys have resonated with this message at all, or if you think that somebody could definitely hear this message and appreciate it, then please make sure that you share it with them. Follow this channel or this podcast wherever you're hearing this, And yeah, tell us what you guys think in the comments below. We always love to hear what you guys have to say.